Nicky got me rolling, got me shaking, got me aching, got me twitching, got me snitching, got me making a fuss. Nicky got me bowled over, got me over his shoulder, got me slapping, got me whacking, got me smacking my lips. Oh, Nicolas Cage, oh, Nicolas Cage, he's an international treasure of ours, yeah. Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Do people do puzzles drunk? I don't think so.
I would think so. Maybe. It's possible.
Hello and welcome back to Nicolas Cage's National Treasure, the only podcast that we know of that watches every single one of Nicolas Cage's films. Every single one. I believe this is the 15th. Well, probably the 17th, because we did a couple.
We have so many more to go.
Yeah, we're like 10% there.
Oh, that's not so bad. That's only another 9 years.
It's the new year, although this will come out in like March or later. I'm here with my co-host John.
Hi.
And Kieran.
Hello.
And Daniel.
Hello. Oh, not again.
Nice to see you, Daniel. How are you?
We should have phoned them for the first, just the intro.
You wouldn't have picked up.
You never know.
He's been absent for a long time.
Daniel has other procurements. Procurements?
I don't think we'll ever see him again.
No, I think we will.
I think he's left. He just doesn't want to sit.
The only annoying part is we are 4 or more Prats, so we need a fourth.
That's always been part of the joke, right? Maybe.
I mean, but who?
Daniel is always the 4th Prat. He just never see it.
He's in spirit. That was nasty.
The film this week is 1993's Amos and Andrew, directed by E. Max Fry, written by E. Max Fry, starring Nick Cage and Samuel L. Jackson. The synopsis is, it's a comedy of errors on this racist island, yet somehow Nick Cage plays a likeable nonce. How did we find the film?
Enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a really good film actually. I wasn't expecting anything, but it was good.
Yeah, it was a comedy of errors. Everything went wrong in the funniest, most racist way possible.
I wonder if it's because
I wasn't shushing you. I was just making a noise.
it's very helpful. I wonder if it's like when the film was released, it didn't do well and it wasn't well reviewed. But I wonder if like
It is
the attitude towards police changing in the last 30 or so years has changed our perception of it.
Possibly. It's the director's only directorial
I was about to
credit.
say that, yeah, it's the only thing he's ever directed.
Yes.
It was fine.
E. Max Fry. He wrote for Band of Brothers and Foxcatcher, the homoerotically charged wrestling film where Steve Carell has a big prosthetic face and Channing Tatum rolls around with other men and lycra,
Yeah.
wrestling.
So it's kind of like what's the stripper movie?
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, but for
I
like
think there's like abuse undertones in that
Oh.
film. I don't know if there is a Magic Mike.
I mean, I've never seen it, but I'm assuming there may be. But the film in general, I didn't hate. I just there was a lot of it where I was like, oh, they're trying to say something. You know what I mean?
It's difficult. It's not. I don't think we're qualified to talk on it,
Oh, are we? Fuck.
but I will. There's a whole thing with
Isn't that just the rule?
white directors directing like black race issues, which is the case here, which is an argument about. But I'm not going to throw my beanie in the ring, for I am a beanie wearing boy.
Oh, it's nearly on.
I'm just going to sit up here.
Okay.
How did we find Nicolas Cage in this film?
Surprisingly pretty good for a film that has absolutely horrendous reviews.
Yeah,
and it's like 16% Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's better than 16%.
Yeah, and then
quite enjoy it.
IMDb's not high either. I want to say it's in the 3 or 4, maybe 5's pushing it. But I think the acting from both him and Samuel L. Jackson is very good. Like they're duo in it, just the timing they have for like lines and
Yeah, they keep the film going, and it's a different kind of role I've seen Samuel L. Jackson in before.
he still looks the same.
Was this before? Yeah, it must have been before the prequels for Star Wars.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's before Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so it's
An
pretty
early
early in
role.
his career.
He started quite late, as
I
far as I know.
I still think he looks like you
The
could
same.
you could tell it was Samuel L. Jackson. But you
He
could say the
has
same for
hair.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage also looks like the same Nicolas Cage as what he does.
Oh yeah.
He looks very similar to what he looked like in
He's balding. Now he has hair
Con
pops.
Air.
Oh,
Yeah, well, there's that specific shot at the end of the film where he's like, his hair's blowing in the wind,
And
which reminds
getting
me of
thin.
Con Air, yeah. Thinning. Each hair follicle flies out.
doing his best.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, John, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was pretty good. Nicolas Cage was a quite fun slapstick type character.
Yeah, and a paedophile.
Yeah, that was.
I guess that's the early 90s though. Or was it early 90s?
Yeah, 93. I don't know when it was set.
About, I presume it was the same time period.
They didn't seem to have any like. There wasn't really any technology that would like.
Tell you.
Yeah.
I guess you could go off cards and stuff, but I can't be honest doing that. That's too much effort. But no,
Oh, when it's like the film set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming it will be 90s.
I don't know, it might have been earlier, because there's a lot of... There's like the Esposito guy, who's in Breaking Bad,
Yes.
is like the leader of... Playing
A
a sort of
church.
Martin Luther King type character.
Yeah.
Like rallies people together and goes on a march. So I don't know if it's like civil rights time.
And there was the whole comic aspect of that where they take so long to get there. Like the movie continues,
And
and
they're just singing every...
Yeah.
That was funny, I guess.
the movie's broken out. This is taken. It starts off by showing him, and he's like in a house with, I don't want to say his wife or like a friend or something, and he's like, oh, this cannot be happening.
He's
in
getting
this
his
kind of area.
nails painted.
Yeah, this can't be happening in this type of area, blah, 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 or we got to help our brother. And over time, it goes back to him and he's like church of people coming to like rally against this man who's been done wrong by the police. And as time passes, it'll be like them getting together, and then them on a bus,
Yeah.
and then them walking to the place, and then
Eventually they get there and they set Samuel L. Jackson's house on fire.
Yeah.
When did
And-
they get flaming torches?
I know, who has flaming torches? Like 4 pitchfork and flames.
Yeah,
like,
that was
oh,
surreal.
whoa.
That was there just so the house could burn down.
Yep.
But the whole premise of the movie is Samuel L. Jackson is this he won the Pulitzer Prize.
Pulitzer. It's a journalism thing.
And it's him, and he's moved into this brand new house, this big house on an island full of white people, and this white man and woman who are like his neighbours come past and think that the house is still owned by the old people who used to own it, and then they see Samuel L. Jackson in the window setting up his stereo and call the police. So then a big kerfuffle happens, but it's not really a serious tone, the film. It's more of there's a comedy aspect of it.
There are moments of seriousness where they have proper like racial discussions
Yeah.
and stuff between the two. But most of it's comedy.
And the police show up, and they'll try and get the guy Samuel Jackson's house. They raid the house, realise that, oh shit, this is actually this guy's house. We don't want a bad press junkie going on. In comes Nicolas Cage, some man who likes to date like 16-year-olds and like 18-year-olds, that age range. He's in a prison. He wants to get to Canada, but he's going in the wrong
How
way.
old is he, like, portrayed in this?
Like 30s, 40s, like 30s. Like
Nasty.
30s.
Yeah. Basically, the whole thing is he wants to get to Canada, but he's going in the wrong direction.
He doesn't know how to get to
Because
Canada.
he's never done geography.
Yeah, he seems like he's quite an intelligent character that doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know how to read a map. But, like, he's pretty
He's
clever
savvy,
in all of...
but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not, he's not like academically intelligent.
Yeah.
So police chief then goes to Nicolas Cage and is like, "We'll let you leave if you go pretend to raid this man's house, keep him hostage, and then surrender.
Give yourself up.
And then we'll let you go to Canada." So he's like, "Okay," like as any normal human being would do. He gets to the house, and he does that. He takes Samuel L. Jackson hostage, and then realizes that he's probably not going to get sent to Canada after it. So then Nicholas...
Well, no, he believes it mostly, but then the press arrives and his face is all plastered on the news.
Yeah.
And that was specifically against the deal, and he was like, how am I supposed to...
get away with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the plan changes for both of them.
And Samuel Jackson's just like, fuck the police. I'm gonna come with you.
Yeah, he also slowly realizes why the police put him up to it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, this is horrible.
I do think the best thing of this film is the actual couple that phoned the police in the first place. Just their house in general. Like the weird relationship that Nicolas Cage has with like their dog. And then the Nicolas Cage go into their house with Samuel Jackson, like trying to find the keys to his car. And then they find like this couple's sex equipment and then like makes them sit on the couch with wearing it. And the two of them are like not scared. Well, I wouldn't say they're scared. They're just kind of unfazed, and they keep asking
because they're high as shit.
Yeah,
it's it's shown that they have been like smoking marijuana quite a lot over the course of the film.
Yeah. So the guy, his big claim to fame, despite being racist, is that he was the lawyer in the trial of the Chicago 7.
but he was like. His wife keeps bigging him up, saying, "Oh yeah, my husband is a big fancy-time lawyer on the trial of Chicago 7." And then he eventually says at some point, being like, "Oh yeah, I was only just like an intern or like a."
It was, oh right, I missed that. But that was in 1970, so we can assume this is set in like the 80s, possibly the 90s.
After that,
because
he's older.
When it happened, the guy said at some point in the film that he was just like not an intern, but he was like a junior or something. Like he was only just starting out. He didn't really have anything to do with it. He was just like a paper pusher type man.
Yeah,
I missed that.
So he wasn't actually the whole thing was his wife was trying to like he was part of it, but he was like the fucking bin man outside. He was there, but he was there. He'd done something.
I was in the office.
He brought him coffee at one point.
Yeah, I'm just reading a bit about the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Amos Andrew.
Yes, you'll know this from the thing that I read probably. Is that it's based on a radio show that ran in like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Well,
called Amos and Andy.
It's not based on it.
No, the title.
The name is from. Yeah.
It's satirical of that. And I'm just reading out to try and find out a little bit more about it, but it's very much. It was one of the biggest radio shows of all time, and featured an African American cast, but has got criticism for its depictions of like caricature of African American people. It says here on my wonderful source of Wikipedia that Gosden and Corell were white actors who were minstrel tradition educated, and they created a show called Sam and Henry, and this somehow made its way to be Amos and Andy. So that's what the film is parodying a bit in its commentary.
There is a bit in the film where Nicolas Cage calls them Amos and Andrew.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Samuel Jackson's character doesn't like being referred to that, and I'm assuming it's because of that show.
Apparently so.
I didn't pick up on that reason for it. I just thought he was uncomfortable with being
put in the same sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that. I could be reading into a bit deeper, but I'm assuming there was some sort of racial thing behind it.
And I do feel like there are probably two watchings of the film, like the very surface level one, which is I think what I did.
Yeah.
And enjoyed the film. And then actually like knowing it enough about the issues to actually
Oh yeah, for a dumb comedy,
be able to dispute it or otherwise.
For a really dumb comedy, if you don't go into like thinking too much about it, you might enjoy it. Like there's a lot of scenes in it that are pretty funny, especially when the two of them are fighting. like on the grass outside the house, or like the house is being raided by the police, and there's a police officer inside it, and they go like so over the top of raiding this house, or the chief police has been like tied to a chair inside, and there's a psychologist who's been brought in.
He's great. He's so fucking funny.
He's a freelance hostage negotiator. He just turns up at hostage situations.
I need a negotiator.
Yeah,
And he gets
freelance.
He gets so scared, and he like the scene cuts him at one point. Sat in his car, having no idea what's happening around him. He's speaking to no
Just
one over
speaking
the phone.
into the answering
Yeah.
machine
Yeah,
and is
for
like psychoanalyzing
hours.
himself. It's like, I really wanted a pony, but my parents got me 15 turtles. It just keeps going on.
It's this police chief tied to a chair inside, losing his mind, thinking that the hostage is still inside with Amos.
Yeah.
And Amos and Andrew are still inside the house, and he's sat listening to this freelance psychologist and hostage situation man talk about his childhood over the phone.
Yes.
It's great.
I do like that character a lot.
He does manage to the police chief is quite a good character overall, because it starts out that he's like, you know, he's playing it by the book, you could say,
Right.
because I mean, he's doing normal cop things, right? Yeah, he wants to be mayor, but then he goes wrong and he realizes, because it's his underlings that make the first fuck ups, right?
Yeah.
They're like his lieutenant sets off the car alarm. He shoots first.
Puts himself in
Yeah,
black.
and then puts himself in blackface, and this guy's like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
And then he realizes, like, and then it plays out, and then he's like, he changes from just doing his job to, I must save my career and my mayoral election. At that point, all morals go out the window. He doesn't give a shit.
No.
He's just breaking whatever rule he can to protect himself. So he gets Amos in. He makes Amos take this man hostage.
And then he fucks over Amos when the press arrives.
Well, he didn't want the press to arrive. Like, it wasn't his intention for the press to arrive.
No.
I believe he would have honoured the deal, but the press got hold of it.
Yeah.
And so when the press turned up, he was like, alright, I can no longer play it the way I was playing it because this is very public now. So he starts playing it straight, and Amos was like, what the fuck? And so throws him under the bus, and it's both
But
like,
Amos never says directly to Andrew, this is what's happening.
No.
This is why I've been called in. He lets Andrew figure it out for himself over the course of the film. Like when he finds the tape of the freelance journalists interviewing the original phone call of them seeing Andrew in his own house and thinking he's a burglar. And then
the guy says, the lawyer says a really great line, like, if you see a black man in the house, you know what he's doing.
yeah,
Fuck.
just totally incriminating. And then he sort of lets him figure it out for himself. Which is strange, because I thought there'd be this whole scene of him being like, they told me this, and then they band up and have a big shootout or something. But no.
I mean,
I quite like there wasn't a big show. I kind of like how the film...
they were constantly at odds with each other. I don't think Amos entirely knew what was going on either. He gradually figured it out himself as he went along. And then as they built up a rapport, it was kind of like, yeah, I'll let this man figure it out for himself.
Because there was that scene when they moved to the second house. So there was Amos and Andrew escaped the first house and they'd been moved on to the original couple's phone called house, their house.
The Gilmans.
Gilmans. Amos and Andrew at one point, the couple come home. This is when before they do all the kind of weird sex clothing stuff.
We're really good at summarising this movie.
Just because someone's a racist doesn't mean you should kink shame them.
Yeah, a kinky couple come home.
The real victims.
And a helicopter flies across, and Amos and hearing the radio go off, and they're assuming that police are actually outside the house they're in, but the police are actually outside the original home. So Nicolas Cage is getting everyone to be hostages again, and getting them sit on the floor, and they're saying he tells the dog to sit, and then the couple sit. And it's a funny wee scenario where he's freaking out, being like, "Holy shit, the police are outside!"
I really like that scene actually. Well, the plot, not the scene.
Yeah.
Who cares about the scene? But no, it's more that it seemed very believable to me the way the wires got crossed, because the police chief escaped the house thinking that Amos and Andrew were still in the house, And so the hostage situation continued on the belief that they were in this house, when in fact they had left the house a while ago to the lawyer's house.
Yeah.
The whole film
And
is...
the radio made Amos believe that the police had surrounded them on this new house. And so he was working under that assumption, and the police were working under that assumption. It was great.
the whole film is people working off false assumptions. And like people like getting things wrong and then just like it escalating.
And their
up
preconceptions perhaps informing that in a very interesting way.
It's an interesting film.
It's one of those things where it's like taking quite a simple scenario and just letting it play out. And I feel like it does play out in quite a believable way. Yeah. Given this situation, I don't know.
Especially the time period, even with the car scene where Nicolas Cage is trying to get the keys to this Mercedes. Is it Mercedes? I think it's Mercedes or BMW. Off the lawyer, and the lawyer's telling him no, it was a gift from his wife. But it turns out it's his first wife. He won't give him the keys, and the car keys are basically.
It's funny though. Man has a gun to his head, and he's just like, "Don't take my car, please don't take my car."
That's all I have left.
It's like, why is
the only thing I won in that divorce?
Yeah, why is he so attached to this car?
Yeah.
But the car keys for that car is the new kind of flip key, and Nicolas Cage, it's right in front of him. But I'm assuming from what the time period and that the character he's meant to play, he's not meant to understand that that's the car key, whereas Samuel L. Jackson knows that's the car key because
he owns one.
He owns one, and he's or he's seen them around, and he understands that kind of that type of car. So Nicolas Cage just sat there with his shotgun to the he's getting really pissed off that he won't give him the car keys when the car keys are actually right in front of him, and they're just a little black square that he just needs to press a wee button and he can unlock the car.
Flip up. Yeah. Indeed.
So there was some quite good, believable sections, and then there was just complete, slappadashery. It was great.
The one man...
Slappadashery.
Yeah, I couldn't think of
coining that term.
Yeah, slapstick. Well, there's this scene where the police chief calls, get me something in the twins. And it's who's this? Is this going to be some important, elite character? And it's just...
No.
It's just bloodhounds. Or massive.
Yeah, it's just some guy with a pair of old bloodhounds. He's just running around
in suspenders.
Yeah.
And
it's playing a stock footage of bloodhounds. It's just stupid.
Oh, Daisy, Mindy, come here. This is
stereotypical
New Jersey.
Just fucking redneck man, and they've given them two big fat bloodhounds. And they're we're going to hunt this man down. And
every
go run in a field
worth their salt has the man who has two bloodhounds and has suspenders and a bit of wheat in his mouth.
Yeah,
he's the best there is.
Yeah,
but that's how they basically end the chief's story as well.
Is that maybe a reference to? Because Andrew Sterling has written a play called "Yo Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Is that not a movie as well?
Yeah. It's a Coen Brothers film.
In the universe. Wait, is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a Coen Brothers film called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And then there's a really old movie in the 40s where it's called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I'm pretty sure in the Coen Brothers film there's a scene with two dogs chasing them down.
Yeah.
And it's in the south. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the Green Mile. Maybe not.
I mean, you could be right.
Maybe.
But that's how they end the basically the chief's storyline, is that the two dogs catch up to Nicolas Cage is driving away and he catches up to Samuel Jackson and is doing the whole Jesus thing with Samuel Jackson is holding on the outside of the car as he's driving. It looks really dumb, and they have is it the police chief's wallet or something? So they get
his badge.
Yeah, they get the dogs to sniff it. And the police chief's talking to the press and then
trying to put more spin on it, and then one of the reporters shows off the tape
from the original
tape that shows the original confession and basically tears apart his entire spin.
Yeah,
And then there's like
These two.
his bottom falls out, and then two fucking bloodhounds come and just attack him.
And then that's it. That's the last you see of the man. Like
He's running like the Grinch across the field with
Yeah.
his knees
Covered in bandages.
Also,
Because he
the
fell downstairs trying to escape the hound.
Gilman's dog is called Rommel.
Yeah.
German Nazi officer Rommel.
Yeah, I thought that was
Perhaps. That's
I wonder if Amos was focusing on that so much because he was like,
Rommel.
yeah, they were, like, because they started to get mad that they kept getting referred to as Mr. and Mrs. Rommel. I was like, does someone make me know something?
Yeah.
I guess if you're trying to nail the like pin on the head that this couple is clearly racist, you're gonna just put slight hints in, but not slight hints. You're just gonna be basically, yeah, the dog's named after like a Nazi person. Like,
Can you be racist and smoke weed habitually?
yes,
Surely those are opposing ideas.
No, but it's a town of liberals.
Nah, liberals in
Well,
quotations.
neoliberals, which can be just as
Neoliberals.
racist as anyone else.
Thatcher.
Yeah, too fun.
Town of Thatchers.
my only thing is this. So I assume this island is like it's just like a bridge connecting it. At the very end of the film, you see Nicolas Cage and Samuel Jackson after they've gotten away from people on a car. On what can only be described as like a car ferry.
Yeah, a car ferry.
You see that at the start of the film.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see at
but-
the start of the film,
yeah,
you
but
see it
then
middle of the film
When
with
the
the buses.
big group of
Yeah,
people
but I'm just
go.
assuming like.
And also the woman who says, the
whole-
17-year-old
but the-
says, I live on
every-
the mainland, I have to get the ferry
But
back.
the whole thing in my head, I kept just
It's like,
imagining.
oh, those people on that island are racist.
I just imagine like
It's the racist Isles.
yeah, I
Somewhere
just
in
assumed like it was just I don't know why I kept seeing that scene of those bits and I kept like in my head I just kept imagining this island with like a little like bridge, not like it being
It's
like
it's one
off
of
the
those.
sea.
It's one of those land bridges where it floods at midnight or whatever when the tide comes in.
I fucking
And then you
hope so.
can't
If
get
not, it's
across.
just a random island in the middle of because it's what like it's set in like New England or something.
I have no idea.
New England is
Close
on
to Canada, not
the
quite.
New England's on the east coast and it's on one side of it has an ocean and I don't think there's many islands off the coast of New England. There might be. I just might be talking shit.
Alright, let's find out. Google
Yeah,
Maps.
Rhode
Google.
Island?
Oh.
The state of Rhode Island?
Manhattan.
The island of Manhattan?
We don't get a ferry to Manhattan, no. Well,
You used to. You still do.
Yeah, if you're coming from the east.
They put
East
trains
to
on
west.
ferries
Yeah.
in New York.
How do you think they got the people across before there were bridges? This is Scotland. This isn't America. Here we go. Right.
Fucking do geography, man.
Here we
I
go.
just love the
So
easy
there
one,
is-
like Manhattan.
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
A fair few islands in the northeast of America.
Yeah, it's
Is
like...
that New England though?
I don't fucking know.
that's
Where the
Canada.
fuck is
That's Canada.
New England? Where's New England?
I mean, isn't like
Map.
Newfoundland?
Oh yeah, that's Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia's an island.
So we're all pulling at maps to give
Yeah.
us results.
Hang on, we gotta find.
It's like the
English.
West Hebrides. It's funny.
New England.
Where's New England? Where the fuck is New England? Where's New
I
England?
thought New England was bloody in Canada anyway.
No, it's where Boston is.
Quebec's big, man. No wonder they want to be independent. It's a big old chunk of Canada.
It's like Massachusetts.
I didn't think Quebec. I thought Quebec was like in the middle. It's like landlocked. It's none of Canada. No, Alberta and Saskatchewan is landlocked.
I mean,
We're learning so much.
there is.
Island.
Where's
Island.
where's
There is
New England?
So below, New England's like Massachusetts and stuff.
Oh,
It's Maine.
There is.
It's Maine. Maine is New England.
it's a town.
New England is a town.
No, it's not.
It's a northeastern region of the
No,
United
that's
States.
Denmark in
Alright.
Maine.
Okay, there are islands though off Boston. There's the island of Nantucket.
Well, right. I've been like. a
There's the
handful of
island
times, never
of
been to
Martha's
an island.
Vineyard.
Yep, I'm seeing. I'm where you are.
Yeah, Nantucket. I've got
What a
Nantucket.
weird land formation. That doesn't look real. Provincetown and that.
Yeah, it looks great. They've got Yarmouth.
Oh, I can tell you about Provincetown. Like, probably not best to tell you when we're on this.
So-
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, we've established that it's
Why-
believable
why
for there
does-
to be an island on the east coast
Why
of
does
America.
the sea look so fucking weird on Google Maps?
That's the topographical data.
What does that mean?
That's what the ocean floor looks like.
What the fuck? They don't know what's down there.
It's like
Yeah, they do. They use sonar.
There's some bits that you can go onto and you can see like boats and like planes and that under the water.
Fuck living on Bermuda.
That's where my girlfriend's mother used to live.
Bermuda.
That'd be terrifying.
They had a house there. Yeah,
Sick.
It's like tiny little thing in the
Right
middle
next to
of
the
ocean.
triangle.
yeah. They used to. I have a fun fact about that. So they don't have like running water. Well, they do, but they don't have like pipe system.
Is it like filtered stuff?
No. So you have like a trough under your house.
There's a golf course that takes
That you
up
can,
at
like,
least a
lift up.
third of the island.
You lift up a hatch and you're like, well, we've only got that much water left until the next water break. So like once a month they bring like a tank of water.
Oh, I see. They have a yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
pretty common.
Mid-Ocean
actually.
Golf Club. That takes up so much room on Bermuda. Considering Bermuda is that big,
Yeah.
that's like a whole fucking section of the country.
Yeah.
That's capitalism.
What
so-
the hell?
I don't think I've
Golf courses are a capitalist success for the upper class.
I mean, yeah, Bermuda's like a billionaire's place.
There's an island on Florida that is just all resorts and golf courses for the rich.
I was like, the same way you could say them like at Bali and like Indonesia and stuff. A lot of those places now they have like their poor areas, but a lot of them are all just. It's like I went to Turkey when I was younger. And there's a whole strip of like just beach. It goes on for miles, and it's all just hotel, 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 hotel.
There's an
Yeah.
island called Grand Manan.
Anyway, enough on the islands. So, yes, the only way to often on this island is a ferry.
There's an island called Matinicus.
And the ferry operator does not care about like the BOLO or the APBs about
No,
who's
he's
in
not
the
giving
movie.
a shit.
Cause-
He's giving them the front view of the shit.
Yeah, he just has a long hard look right at Amos, looks at the TV behind him with the wanted poster or whatever. It's like, alright, $20.
There's an island called Allen Island.
Okay, Nate,
Benner Island.
there's enough islands.
Little Griffin.
There's too many islands.
So
He
many
likes an
islands.
island. He's an island man.
Thompson
I mean,
Island.
yeah, I'd live on an island if it was a good island.
Barter Island. I wonder how they got that.
Enough of the islands.
But I like islands!
Look, I'll tell you about the island with the money pit at some point.
Let's go.
No, there's a whole reason.
Let's go be rich.
Alright, so what were we talking about before we got stuck on?
No, Amos and Andrew, there's only so much you can say.
The film is
There's a lot to say.
No, the film is only an hour and 30-ish minutes.
Yeah,
40.
a perfect length. It was
An hour
well
and
paced.
41 minutes.
It was well paced.
Not too much happens. I think we've got.
They
on
take some
just-
hostages, they work out their racial differences, and they part as equals. A Pulitzer Prize winner and a nonce escaping the law.
Yeah, and there's a scene where he's driving off into the horizon, and it
To-
shows that
towards
he's driving
Canada,
south.
and he's driving south. And that's how you end it.
And
The
welcome
errors
to
continue.
Amos and Andrew 2, coming 2025. And it's not Nicolas Cage or Samuel L. Jackson, but it's.
Who would replace them? Who would play them in the
Oh,
sequel?
it'd be some fucking random people no one's ever
It'd
heard
be
of.
Timothy Chalamet or Chris Pratt and someone else.
There was like a
Probably still Samuel L. Jackson.
No, it's a prequel, and they actually met when they were younger, and they were best of friends, but they can't remember.
They can't remember that they were best of friends
Yes.
when they're older.
Yes. It's
They,
like a
they
daytime
both have
TV show.
retrograde amnesia.
It's a daytime TV show. It's on like Channel 5.
I mean, there was a TV show of Amos and Andy.
Alright, so
You
any
checking the
any
time
any
there?
preferred cageisms?
Yeah, when he takes a drink of beer and he goes. With
Oh,
his
that was
hands.
really good. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that bit.
He head
I forgot
backs.
about that one.
He did come out of his cage when he was playing this film.
It's
Some-
Cage. Yeah.
Sometimes when Cage is playing a film, he doesn't really leave the cage. In
Yeah.
this cage,
He bust out of that cage.
he bust out of that cage.
Yeah.
He really caged it up.
You could tell it was Cage.
It was Cage.
Okay, so that's the cageism we all liked. I can't think of any other prominent ones.
Next time, it's
Yeah.
been half an hour, that's enough, right?
Yeah, next film is. It's been an hour and a half.
No, it's been half an hour.
hour.
It just says an hour automatically, John. When you start recording.
Oh, in that case, we should find another hour of content.
No, we have never done it. The longest we've done is an hour and 10 minutes,
All
and
right.
that was like the end of season
In
1.
that case, 20 minutes of content.
No,
Hi, listeners.
There isn't 20 minutes of content.
there's not.
We do like
We
to
don't have good enough opinions for that.
we do like to bring you a lot enough content, but sometimes a nice wee episode just for when you're in the bath or in the shower, driving
Yeah.
home from work. This is that.
Taking a real long poop.
Yeah, this is that episode. It's a chill episode.
If you're sitting in the bathroom for 35 minutes,
I'm sorry, if you're in the
Taking
bath,
a
if
shit.
you're in the bathtub listening to this, find something else.
that, and also, you need to consider your health if you have to.
Find that
If
hole.
you're shitting for up to 45 minutes at a time.
The next film next week
Get hammered with.
is 2019's Grand Isle. Do we want to take a guess at the Rotten Tomatoes score?
17%.
12.
9%.
Ooh.
You get a
Walter and
chocolate.
his... should I not read that out?
No.
Truth on this one.
Yeah.
Well,
Fine.
hopefully you just come back and listen to this one. Daniel might be here.
He's left.
I have hope.
Kelsey Grammer's in the next one.
Oh.
Well, we've been at least for Prats.
Check
So
out
This
man
is
with, like-
Nicolas Cage, International Treasure.
check
Is
out
that
the trailer
man
for
with-
Rainfield.
It's a man with sleeveless vest on, showing his rippling muscles.
You can find us on Twitter at 4Prats. You can find us on Twitch on 4Prats
We
Productions.
might have an outdoor
Wrong.
episode.
At 4Prats.
There you go.
You can find us on YouTube, some combination of those words.
At least 4 Prats.
Yeah. So yeah, we also do the Latency Lounge where we talk about games we've been playing in an improv setting. And we're on Dundee Radio.
Yeah. We might also...
One of them.
the next
No, we're
episode-
not. That was all a lie. You can't find us anywhere. This is the only
We're
place.
outside Daniel's window next episode. Just if he doesn't come to us, we're going to take the
That'd
podcast.
be pretty fun if
We're
it
gonna
wasn't so cold.
We're going to take the podcast to him, even if he's working.
We can't. He's left. He texted me earlier. He said, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I hate you all. Goodbye.
At least we have a replacement.
Who's the replacement?
Samuel Jackson.
Fuck yeah!
Nigga got me rolled over his shoulder, got me slapping, got me rocking, got me smacking my lips. Oh, Nicolas Cage, oh, Nicolas Cage, he's an international treasure of ours, yeah. Oh, Nicolas Cage.
At least 4